for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform.
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
Another day, another Diddy story flooding timelines, but this one hit different and shook the whole entertainment world to the core. 50 Cent stepped out swinging, pulling the curtain back on a Netflix documentary that instantly became the most talked about project in Hollywood. As soon as it dropped, chaos followed. Celebrities who usually stay quiet suddenly got loud behind the scenes, allegedly scrambling to stop this documentary from spreading any further. Big names, powerful connections, and familiar faces were all said to be panicking, worried about what might surface next. This wasn't a slow burn either. Within days, the documentary exploded, pulling massive numbers and beating out shows nobody thought could be touched.
50 Cent has been working on this documentary for almost 2 years. The footage he has is insane. The people he got speaking about Diddy is ridiculous. And on top of that, the only place he agrees to do the interview, Rob, if you can show this, he goes and interviews with ABC, and there's an Instagram post he put up, Rob. I don't know if you have that or not. If you go on his Instagram account, he goes and does the interview about Diddy's documentary on ABC, and they say the reason why he did it on ABC, it's that one right there, Rob, the one you had it on, is because ABC News Station is one of only few stations they're allowed to watch in prison.
And 50, he wasn't whispering. He was posting, exposing, and letting the internet do the rest. Screenshots, captions, and slick comments kept popping up, making it clear this wasn't just entertainment. This was pressure. The footage inside the documentary showed moments the public had never seen before, including private calls, behind-the-scenes tension, and voices that stayed silent for decades suddenly speaking loud. This wasn't framed as sympathy or nostalgia. It was raw, uncomfortable, and direct. The energy felt like a warning shot to the entire industry. People watching didn't just binge it. They studied it, clipped it, and debated every frame online. And while viewers were locked in, certain celebrities allegedly started moving funny, calling lawyers, making calls, and trying to erase their names from anything connected to Diddy. That reaction alone made the documentary feel even heavier. The streets online started saying the silence from certain people was louder than any statement. Something was off and everyone could feel it. Then things got messier when Marlon Wayans unexpectedly stepped into the conversation, and the internet instantly raised an eyebrow.
Honestly, it's between both of them and God.
Yeah.
So, only God can judge, and both of them people have time to sit with God and talk about and through everything. And right now is Puff's time to sit there and have a conversation, a much needed conversation with God.
Instead of staying neutral, Marlon publicly criticized 50 Cent for going at Diddy during a vulnerable moment. He spoke about karma, judgment, and letting God handle things, which might sound calm on the surface, but the timing rubbed people the wrong way.
50 and Puff have a long-term beef. It's personal. It's between both of them and God. Just the way Puff is down on his luck and 50's kicking a man when he's down. If 50 ever luck turned up on 50, you got to be careful what you put out. There's a karma to every action that you...
Social media wasn't buying it. Folks started asking why Marlon felt so strongly about defending Diddy when so many serious allegations were already in the open. That question spread fast, and 50 didn't hesitate to respond. He took it straight to Instagram with a post that instantly went viral, flipping the situation into public embarrassment. The caption alone had people laughing, reposting, and picking sides. From there, the narrative shifted. It wasn't just about the documentary anymore. It was about who felt personally threatened by it. Commentators and radio personalities started pointing out the double standard.
This is Diddy's 19 years old. If you just type in the city college, yeah, this is 34 years ago, guys.
Wow.
Exactly 34 years ago. Go to a clip of it, Rob, if you can, just to show. Go to the cover of that page. Go to the cover of that. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Eight crushed to death and ends up becoming 9, by the way. Yeah, true story. But if you go and see if you can find a video, Rob, of what it looked like, if you type if you type in video, so everybody's coming to this game, all the major NBA, all the major rappers, everybody's, oh my God, it's going to be great, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And in that image right there, go to that image right there with Diddy, the middle one, that's him doing the press conference. He does the press conference on that day at 19-ish years old, boom, he becomes famous. And he creates that rumor reputation of he can put the biggest parties in the world and people show up, the biggest promoter. So that became a way where his image got bigger and bigger and bigger.
When other networks released content on Diddy, nobody cried foul. But when a black producer like 50 Cent did it, suddenly it was too far. That comparison stuck. It made people look at Marlon's comments differently. The defense didn't come off as spiritual, it came off as protective. Online chatter framed it as loyalty mixed with fear. And once that label sticks, it doesn't wash off easy. Meanwhile, the documentary kept gaining traction, and every attempt to criticize it only sent more viewers rushing to watch. The energy online felt like people were connecting dots in real time, and nobody wanted to miss what could drop next. But the strangest moment came when viewers noticed a massive name missing from the entire 4-episode breakdown. Jay-Z, not a photo, not a mention, not even a background clip. That absence hit like a record scratch. Anyone who knows hip-hop history knows Diddy and Jay-Z ran in the same circles, did business together, and was seen side by side for years. So how does a full documentary on Diddy erase Jay-Z completely? TikTok went wild trying to make sense of it. Clips popped up asking where he was and why the story skipped over him like he never existed. Theories started flying fast. Some people suggested deals were made behind closed doors. Others hinted at power moves and industry protection. The silence didn't feel accidental. It felt intentional.
Guys, where the f is Jay-Z? Just finished watching the Diddy documentary and not a picture, not a mention, no video footage, nothing with Jay-Z. Like, what kind of deal did 50 strike with the Carters? I've Googled it and I can't seem to find anything except for the 150 post that he did. And I can't tell if he's trolling Jay-Z or what's going on. Is he so powerful that he is getting out of this? Is it the Epstein files? What's the tea?
Old interviews resurfaced, past connections got replayed, and suddenly Jaguar Wright's old warnings started trending again. She had said years ago that when one major figure falls, another is next in line.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy.
Back then, people brushed it off. Now the timing had folks rethinking everything. The documentary didn't accuse Jay-Z directly, but the absence alone raised serious eyebrows. In storytelling, what's left out can be louder than what's shown, and this gap felt massive. The internet doesn't let gaps breathe, it fills them fast, and once that happens, narratives take on a life of their own. The more people rewatched the documentary, the louder the question became. Why was one of Diddy's closest industry peers erased from the story entirely? As the series moved forward, the tone shifted from celebrity drama to something far darker and heavier. The documentary dove into the deaths of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious Big, pulling in recorded statements and testimony that had people sitting in silence. According to what was presented, federal recordings featured Keith D discussing alleged offers tied to Tupac's murder.
Did Diddy do that to Pac?
Including a shocking claim of money put on both Tupac and Suge Knight. The weight of hearing that shook viewers. This wasn't blog gossip energy. This felt like law enforcement material laid out for the public. The story didn't stop there. It went into how relationships, jealousy, and power struggles behind the scenes may have played a role in escalating tensions. Then came Biggie. A former Bad Boy insider spoke on decisions that kept Biggie in Los Angeles instead of leaving for a planned trip overseas. Days later, Biggie was gone. The documentary painted a picture of control, manipulation, and business decisions that prioritized image over safety. Even the handling of Biggie's funeral was brought up, with claims that expenses were charged back to his estate. That detail hit viewers hard. Loyalty was questioned, motives were dissected, and the idea that tragedy was used to elevate personal fame left a bad taste. By this point, the documentary no longer felt like entertainment. It felt like reopening wounds that never healed. And once those chapters aired, the conversation online shifted from shock to outrage. The final stretch focused on the fallout, and that's where everything tightened up. Diddy's legal team moved fast, firing off cease and desist letters and accusing Netflix of using unauthorized footage. They framed the documentary as a hit job, but 50 Cent and the director stood firm, saying everything was cleared and obtained legally. Then came the twist that made people shake their heads. The most damaging footage came from a videographer Diddy himself hired. He was documenting his life before arrest, seemingly confident he could control the narrative. Instead, those recordings ended up exposing his mindset, his fears, and his obsession with public perception. Viewers watched him discuss media coverage, legal strategy, and image damage, and the optics were terrible. It looked less like concern for victims and more like panic over reputation. The documentary closed by widening the lens, making it clear this wasn't about revenge. It was about accountability and separating hip-hop culture from abuse and unchecked power.
Things give viewers an intimate look at Combs' mindset ahead of his criminal trial, even conversations with his legal team.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps. What was he intending to use it for?
I have no idea what he was doing that for.
I mean, you know, you're talking about a man who films himself doing everything.
Gene Deal's comments added another layer of mystery, especially when he claimed 50 didn't fully control the project and payment decisions came from elsewhere. That raised new questions about who truly steered the narrative. By the end, the damage was done, the industry was exposed, viewers were locked in, and silence from certain names only fueled suspicion. If this story had no truth, there wouldn't be this much smoke. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tapped in for more stories breaking down what really goes on behind closed doors.